Hi, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Current blood sugar is sitting at 8.9. Good number. Let's take a look at the 3 lines. Everything seems good. I have 64 units of insulin left in my pump. So probably snack time, I'll probably have to change my number a bit because they'll probably be dry. We'll see after the lunch amount of insulin. I have 5 days left on my sensor. I have 88% battery left on my transmitter, and my transmitter is still here on the arm. Just changed location, but it's right there. I haven't had problems with this being clicked out, and I think that's because the other one was put too far back on the arm. So we'll see. We'll see if that's the cause or not. Okay. So, time and range. During last night, pretty regularly I needed to have correction. But it kept me pretty straight all through the night, which I enjoy. When I wake up, I don't seem to be so bad. It seemed to be very hot in the room, but I didn't get that normal feeling. Seeing more and more dark lines. Let's bring this down a bit more. Yeah, it's just a little scab or something on my face. I've had quite a few of them. Okay, let's move on. Time and range. Oh well, we've done it again. We're 100%. And you too should be working towards 100 if you can. If you're over 70, that's a win. Average blood sugar is sitting at 7.3. And that's kind of pretty much the way the doctors pretty well like it. Now, today, I want to discuss finding a doctor. We sit here and we discuss, go see your endocrinologist, go see your family doctor. But it can be hard trying to find one or the other. So we're going to sit down today and we're going to discuss it. Let's go. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Finding a doctor nowadays can be difficult. You can't sort of just call up a doctor anymore and say, hey, I want to go and see a doctor. Can you make an appointment for me? Nowadays, you have to sit down with the doctor and you pretty well have to go for an interview to see if the doctor really wants you. I guess they want a nice, easy practice, which who wouldn't? I, for years, had a doctor in Burnaby, and I'd go see her. And then we moved out here, and I have a luxury, at least when staying in this facility, I have the luxury of doing all my stuff and being watched by a medical professional. I have a doctor here who acquaints to a family doctor out in the real world. Now that's your first and foremost. If you've decided, oh, well, I don't need an endo, oh, I don't need all that, wonderful. But you really should double think that. How do you find that family doctor? First, you can try calling around. A lot of places, I know in BC now, it's quite difficult to find a family doctor. Pop-in clinics have come up, we call them walk-in clinics, and that's quite well accepted. That's fine if you don't have, what's the word for it? A disease like diabetes, heart disease. But if you have one of these, you really need to find a doctor. If you've been in the hospital for any reason, a lot of the hospitalists will know of doctors in the local area that are accepting patients. You can look online in BC. Here is called the College of Physicians and Surgeons. And they have a listing of doctors that are accepting new patients. Spend some time, get to know them, because you want someone who's going to support your diabetes travel. Ideally, you want someone who has a little bit of knowledge about diabetes. I know, right? For me, it was important because I'm all over the place. I have good days, I have bad days. And I don't necessarily follow the rules, the imaginary rules that all diabetics should be followed. We give you insulin, your blood sugar goes down. But what happens if your blood sugars don't go down? That's when we run into problems. You need to be able to have someone who has a rough idea of what kind of your treatments and what you need to do for those treatments. So go in with questions about what's his understanding about diabetes. How long have they been practicing? Have they had any other type 1 diabetics? Family doctors are your first stepping stone. In British Columbia, you have to get a referral from your family doctor before carrying on to get to an endocrinologist. And you need an endocrinologist to get into diabetic education. Those are the three biggies. Now, what is the difference between a GP and an endo? For years, for controlling my diabetes, I went to my family doctor. I would go and say, here. I was on shots, I'd taken blood sugars, and that's pretty much where we were. Now, with the pump, I can take printouts, and I don't have to sit there and write out a whole bunch of things. I took my binder sometimes, and then I would go see him if I got like a skin infection, or I got a cold or a flu, that sort of thing. I phoned my endocrinologist, anything that was causing my blood sugars to fluctuate. Letting them know, yes, I've been so out of it, and blah, blah, blah. That goes under endocrinologist. Your endocrinologist and your family doctor should send correspondence between each other. They shouldn't just be there not talking to each other and not understanding anything. Oh, God, I hate that. You should be able to feel like you can call your endo. And a lot of times your family doctor, while they're the first stepping stone, they also probably know you and know what care that you're going to need and what endo fits you. With internet, you can talk to a family doctor, you can talk to your endocrinologist anytime. Well, maybe not anytime, but you can pretty well get an appointment. You can phone and make an appointment. You can talk to them. My diabetic nurse, who I actually have an appointment with tomorrow, which we'll be doing our discussion tomorrow, we'll all be on the phone. She takes a look at what my pump sends to the internet, and we discuss where my blood sugars are. Years ago, you couldn't do that because your blood sugars were set and that was it. You couldn't say, well, yeah, it was this, it was this, and trying to discuss it over the phone. There was always some kind of, no, it wasn't a good thing, let's just put it that way. Now we can do that. In fact, when I was in Burnaby, my endocrinologist was in New Westminster, which is next town over. But they were like virtually next door. Like one side of the street was one town, the other side of the street was the other. When I moved out here, my diabetic nurse is down the road quite a bit, and my endocrinologist is still in New Westminster. So all in all, it's still a very good thing. But if technology is important to you, maybe have an endo that understands technology and utilize technology. An endo who understands the pumps and how to read the reports. I've been lucky. In my time, I've had 4 endocrinologists. The one I was diagnosed and hospitalized with, and he was sort of a write-off, pure and simple. He wasn't the greatest for a kid of 13. He was almost, I'm sure, very close to retiring. He wasn't for me. Next, we had a world-renowned endocrinologist who worked out of New Westminster. And after high school, I spent the summer there and got to know him. I guess there was 6 or 5 endos. There was Dr. Hunt, John Hunt. There was Dr. Tildesley, Dr. Thompson, and then Dr. Clarissa Wallace, who really finally got me straightened around and got my control tighter. What a difference things made. So, all these things came into play. It's important. We talked about one of the things very shortly. We're getting up to March 17th, which is our control day, and making sure that we get the control going, and you need to visit your family doctor or your endocrinologist to make sure you're ready and what sort of goals you need to attain. And you need the help of your doctors to sort of guide you to see how things are going. So, how to find a doctor? You could try calling all sorts of doctors. If you find yourself in an emergency and they ask who's your family doctor, tell them you don't have one and you're looking for one. They may be able to help. If you're hospitalized, they may be able to do more with the Department of Family Medicine if you're in a larger hospital. All work together. My mom found a doctor utilizing the hospital, and she found an excellent doctor. So all is good. So it's important that you find a family doctor, and your family doctor can lead you towards an endocrinologist. An endocrinologist will help you achieve those over 70% time and range numbers. Don't say, oh, I can do this all on my own, because chances are you can't. With that, have a super day, and we'll be right back to discuss what we're going to discuss tomorrow. My next vlog topic will be Hi, it's Mike. Just to let you know what we're going to be discussing tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be looking at what happened during my telephone conversation with my diabetic nurse. So it may be a shorter video tomorrow, but all in all, pretty good things. So see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific. And if you like to and are interested, please subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.